You guys give me if I kill that bird?
Barbara, that's a bald eagle.
Get away, Baldy! Yeah! Oh, this is The Wort with Mike, Pete, and Steve, GubsRadio.com. We are live here tonight at the biggest and the baddest comedy club here on Long Island, Governor's Comedy Club in Levittown, Long Island, broadcasting from the Govs Comedy Club podcast studio. Tonight, we have a great, great show for you. We have Steve in-house. He's right here. We have Peter virtually because he's highly contagious, apparently. He said mediocrely contagious.
He's got poo-poo-politis.
Peter, is that true?
It'll infect your ass.
Oh, no, that's not good.
And that's poo-poo-politis.
Poo-poo-politis, I don't know.
Better yet, we have our guest tonight with beer that can cure all of that. We have Gunnar and Lindsay from Springs Brewing Company right here on Long Island, folks. There they are. Say hello. Hi, guys.
How's it going?
They are also virtually because they are, an hour east of us?
Yeah.
And in all of the icy road nonsense, no one needs any of that. We will host them virtually tonight. But before we begin any of that, we must go to our sponsors. And tonight, Steven's here with Rosie's Draft Solutions.
Rosie's Draft Solutions. Get it. Oh, wait, no.
That's not it.
No, that's not it.
That's the whole plug.
That's not it. That's not it. Rosie's Draft Solutions is a Long Island family-owned business that provides professional draft beer system services, line cleanings and maintenance, draft beer line system installs, event dispensing solutions, and more. They are passionate about craft beer and making sure it has the same quality as when it left the brewery. That is only done by making sure those draft system lines are perfectly clean.
Tight.
Rosie services bars, restaurants, halls, events, and all other beverage establishments, including home kegerator installs across Long Island and Westchester. With backgrounds in professional brewing, certified Cicerone. I love that. I love it. Love the Cicerone. And off-flavor detection. They are here to bring you professional services so you can serve the best quality product while obtaining the best yields from your kegs.
Yes.
You can reach them at rosiesdraftsolutions@gmail.com, or you can give them a call at 631-219-2075, Monday through Sunday, 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. Ask for Nick. Tell him the Wort sent you, and he might...
He might holler at your boy.
He might.
That's
he
it.
might.
That's a good one.
He might holler at your boy.
He might holler at your boy. So go ahead to Rosie's Draft Solutions Instagram and Twitter and tell them the Wort sent you for a little discount on any of your services. Tonight we're also sponsored by Beer Maker. Peter, take it away, Beer Maker.
Beer Maker.
Beer Maker, your at-home all-grain countertop brewing system. Are you bored because you're sitting at home on quarantine? Why don't you brew a beer with Beer Maker? Lots of recipes. It's Stout Month. For Beer Maker, they're doing a promotion. They
8
have
different stouts.
a bunch of
with
new
a
stouts
lot of
available in the Beer Maker store.
They need to get the black lager going.
Yeah.
They need to have
Yes, they do.
That's a definite for sure.
All sorts of beers you can make in there. Dunkelweisens, Marzens, IPAs, both East and West Coast. All of the coasts represented.
Even the Southeast.
The South Coast.
The Gulf Coast.
There's a
all
Gulf
those
of
coasts.
Mexico.
That's going to be the next style, by the way. Gulf Coast Lager.
Why not?
Calling it here right now. Right today.
Use promo code the Wort.
Gulf Coast Lager is the next big fucking
There
thing.
you go.
That would be pretty amazing if they're able to get a Gulf Coast double IPA.
It'd be awesome.
Well, we have East Coast. right?
Why
East Coast
not?
Ghost and East Coast from Brooklyn and other ones do East Coast.
Gulf Coast.
Yeah, it's happening. Peter, give us the big plug. What is it?
Use promo code the Wort for some little quiche off the beer maker.
Yep.
Beer maker, BERMKR.
And check them out on
social
Instagram.
media.
All of the links are up in our Instagram bio, so go ahead and head over to that link tree and click Beer Maker. And, of course, type in promo code The Wort. We're also sponsored tonight by VintageBeerShirtClub.com. We got a new package coming our way, boys, for Vintage Beer Shirt Club shirts going out to the guests on our show. And thanks a lot for them for helping us out. We're also tonight sponsored by Brewbag. I can't stop talking about Brewbag. Can't wait to get that thing back out.
Can't wait to get my bags out in the warm.
That's it.
And throwing them in the holes.
That's it.
Can't wait.
And so if you don't know what Brewbag is, it's beer pong cornhole. It's an amazing game in that you play with a beer, and it's
How
just
somebody
as
didn't
competitive.
think of this like years ago.
Well, don't tell Scott that, because Scott's like, thank God I thought of it.
Well, that's right. That's why I'm glad he thought of it.
Yeah, so go to brewbag.com, type in promo code TheWart. We've received 10% off your order. I think we have our own personalized page on his website. That's also in our link tree, brewbag.com. Also sponsored tonight by Physics. Physics.com for your tap dispensing. By the way, I fixed the one from last week. I know what happened to it. There was a seal issue.
It was a sucky problem.
It was. It was a little rubber gasket that goes around. If you just washed it, that was my fault. And what I was doing is I was just holding the top down, and it automatically, had the suction immediately. But you can put in your crowler can. You could put in your 750 bottle. You can do a lot of cool things, and it's then beer from the bottle, from the crowler, on tap. It's Physics.com. Promo code TheWart. Receive 20% off your order.
Jesus, that's
Also,
great.
tonight sponsored by Brewers Hardware. Brewers Hardware for all your large capacity, small capacity needs. Go to Brewers Hardware. We thank him for all his support throughout the years. And shout outs to our buddies over American Beauty, at Hopscotch Bottle Shop, and everyone that has helped us along the way. And tonight, as promised, we have an excellent show with already, in my estimation, from the first few sips, excellent beer.
Wait, you sipped it? You told me not
I
to
did.
sip.
I told you not to sip it while you're going to do your promos. I didn't say
was-
don't sip it ever.
I'm sipping.
You got to sip it. Now you got to. There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Gunnar and Lindsay from Springs Brewing right out there on Long Island. What's going on, guys? How are you?
How's
Good.
it going?
How are you doing?
Well, thanks very much for hanging out with me. Was it yesterday? It was yesterday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I just lose time, man. It's been it's only been 24 hours, and it feels like an eternity. I'm going to be honest with you. But thanks very much. We went over to Hopscotch, hung out,
Hopscotch.
talked shop a little bit. Got a little pre-production questions rolling, but I'm going to let them start it off tonight. I want you guys to give us a little bit of background of who you are, where you came from, because this is kind of, well, we'll say it is new. It's one of the newest ones here on Long Island that you could find in some of your local distributors, and of course out on the East End. So give us a little background. How did you guys get into all this, and how did this come to be?
Well, it's been a long time. We both kind of grew up with craft beer lovers, kind of more macro craft beer, like Sierra Nevada and Dale's and that sort of stuff. And
Dale's.
so we were always kind of into beer. And then we were both going to school in the Bronx, and Gunnar and I didn't really know each other then, but we were both really interested in design and sustainability, and we were both going back to school for grad school to study, Gunnar for architecture and me for design and sustainability. And
Lindsay, I know what architecture is. Tell me about design and sustainability, because when I think design, I have a graphic design minor or constant, or what, they don't even call them concentrations, do they? What do they call them in college now?
Those are camps.
No.
That's a long time ago.
Not that.
Oh.
No, I'm talking about you have your major and then it's a minor. They don't call it
minor.
minors anymore, though.
No, I don't think so.
They call it something else. But all right, so tell me, what is design and sustainability? Because that's I don't think I've heard that as a path, and that's just me being ignorant, to be honest with you.
yeah, no, it was definitely a new, I was the first year that they had this program at the new school.
Well, that's why I didn't know that. There you go.
Very fresh.
Cool. What is that?
yeah.
What does that entail? Is it a lot of art, or is it more like agriculture? What does that have to do with it?
So you kind of, for this particular program, it's more academic and research oriented. And so every person in the program kind of designs their own curriculum. And for me, it was a a focus on how design practices can create sustainable futures. And so a lot of what I was studying was how in Cuba, kind of the restrictions created this very sustainable environment, and a lot of it had to do with food and people's consumption. And so I think that, and also when Gunnar was in architecture school, like sustainability was really becoming a huge part of the discourse.
Yeah, like recyclables and things like that, and being able to, bring back or refurbish things, of course.
Yeah, totally. And like thinking about materials and people like just kind of creating this more kind of consideration around consumption. And so we both still work in architecture, but we've also worked on a lot of social justice and food projects. And we were doing a lot of little wonky fermentation projects. And
what did those entail?
A lot of sauerkraut,
pickled onions.
A lot of pickled things.
Some kimchi, maybe?
Yeah, I love that.
Kimchi, yeah.
There we go.
That sounds
There
like
we go.
By the way, that was what was in the
that
bowl,
bowl from Gina's Wieners.
The Gina's Wieners that we had. I love pickled vegetables. They're delicious. And basically what that means is that food can sustain longer if it's pickled and jarred and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, totally. It's like, you can stretch things that way, right? Something might not be that great fresh. You can pickle it and it'll last.
Like when your meat goes bad.
Right.
You just pickle it.
No, you salt it. That one.
Shit. No wonder why I haven't been feeling well. I've been.
You're doing it the backwards way.
I've been pickling my meat for a while now.
Salting your vegetables.
Yeah.
No wonder your sodium's through the roof.
Ooh.
Jeez, you thought it was drinking. It's just all the salt you dump it on your vegetables.
I'm so wrong.
Oh my God.
Damn it.
Well, listen, you might have to go back for a new degree in design and
a degree in gastroenterology.
You know what? I have heard of programs like you've taken, Lindsay, that allow you to kind of focus more on something that you're passionate about. I think it's a great way, as an educator, I think it's a great way to really focus a student rather than just I'm going for computer engineering or whatever. Yeah, but it's more complex than that because you're eventually going to get to something more specific. What if you already knew what that was and you're able to design a degree program around that? I think it's a good idea for colleges to explore that avenue a little bit.
Totally. Yeah, it like gives you kind of this latitude to be a generalist, and I think that's kind of like what brought us to beer was like, when we were thinking about all of these ideas, a lot of the things that like brought us together and brought us together with other people was beer. And it felt very accessible. And it was also, we were drinking all this beer and we were like, oh, we should try.
As you should.
Yeah.
We really kind of, we started, and then, we started home brewing and really saw how brewing was this kind of amazing thing that could be this outlet, that we had for making things, for crafting things, and also, for sharing it and with people and really bringing people together. And we were part of like the craft beer scene and just saw like, how you could just start talking to someone, about the beer they're drinking or whatnot, at a brewery or at a beer bar. And it could, is this kind of way this kind of baseline to make connections with people that go, well beyond beer. We love that about it. And that it is this amazing thing that you can,
just so you know, that might get old quick. I'm just kind of giving you guys a little tip.
Well, they don't have their own spot yet. But
right now it's young and fresh. It's like young love. It's everything you want it to be, and so refreshing every day. And then, after a few years, and you've been doing this a while, and you're a professional now. You're no longer this home brewer, and then you have all these home brewers that just keep coming to you and giving you their homebrew that they just brewed because they bought their first kit, and they want you to try and critique it in every little way they possibly can. But it's still fun.
Yeah,
It's still good.
It does get. I mean, you guys. I want to back up for a sec because you said you guys were going to school up in the Bronx. How'd you guys meet? How'd you guys get together?
Well, so we actually met at school. We both went to Fordham, and we were both studying art, studio art and architecture. And then, we had a couple classes together, but didn't actually, we didn't really get together until we ran into each other after college. And then we're like, oh, hey, remember you from class.
Hey, I know you.
Hey, I'm the guy that used to be in the bushes watching you all the time.
Pretty much.
You remember me?
I expressed to you guys at Hopscotch when we were hanging out, Pete and I's complete and utter fails on homebrewing and the introduction of Beer Maker into our world just made things a little easier. Pete, you want to give your 2 cents after they heard my rant of how much I dislike the homebrewing experience?
I dislike it so much, I didn't even open the package of a homebrewing kit that my wife got me for Father's Day one year. That's how much I disliked it. So.
See, that was a lot of fun you had there. You put the box in the corner and you left it, and you did something else.
Yeah, that's how much free time I have as a parent.
You see that?
So, tell us about your homebrewing experience. Starting off, were you starting when you guys were up in the Bronx, or did you start when you came out here? Where did that kind of come about?
We were kind of in Brooklyn when all of these craft breweries were and bars were starting to happen, and there were still holes in the wall. And we got a home brewing kit, and we made a lot of really pretty beer for a really long time.
And you drank it.
Yeah.
I think you got me, it was the Brooklyn, at-home brew kit.
Oh, yeah, the Brooklyn Brew Kit,
Yeah, for my birthday.
Yeah.
And we did that and made made a crappy beer, and we're like, well, maybe if we learn a little bit more about this, we can make it better. Because, we found with that kit in particular, and with these kits, it kind of just says, oh, do this, then do that. It doesn't really explain why you're doing anything.
Yeah.
So it's just
I don't understand why this didn't come out well. They told me how to do it.
Yeah. So,
and to be honest with you, the Brooklyn Home Brew Kit, and from because I had one and I did it, it was probably to that point the most realistic experience because you are doing a wort, you are doing those things. There's no, as far as I remember, it's all grain.
Oh wow!
And you were actually going through the real process in a very small capacity, but it had that element of you felt like you were actually brewing, not just hot water, pour in the syrup, let it sit, pitch the yeast, let it sit, got beer. I'm like, wait a second, what just happened here?
Throw in these tablets.
It's that easy. I could do this. And then, it leads to, falsities of what it actually is. The Brooklyn Beer Kit, to me, was one of the first ones that actually made sense and really held a lot more of my interest. But then, we were talking, with the sanitization and everything going on, that is where everything kind of halts for me. Because if you make one bad move in that kitchen, Dunskies for the beer. So what did you guys learn along your home brewing experience like we did? I learned that I hate it. What did you guys learn?
And that you rather buy it.
It's
and
so
drink much easier.
Oh, so much easier. It's great. I enjoy
definitely
everyone else's
learned
fruits of
that.
labor.
Sure.
What was the big takeaways from that home brewing experience?
We were just if we don't brew perfect beer that we want to drink, what's the point of doing this? That really kept us motivated to keep going and keep trying. And I think we cook a lot, so we understand. And I think with design and stuff, you understand that a lot of effort and practice goes into getting that perfect product. And so I think that that kind of perfectionism that's been ingrained in us professionally kind of started to come out in the homebrewing process. And a lot of times we were architecture hours are pretty long, so we were coming home on Friday nights and then homebrewing until 2:00 in the morning and running across the bodega and buying bags of ice and filling up the bathtub and then putting in our we were living in a tiny apartment. It was kind of
That's why you need Beer Maker.
Yeah.
Beer Maker. BEERMAKR.
And then we were making the beer and then just it would sit in our fridge, and then we'd like throw it out.
Steve, I think our neighbors in 2A are making toilet wine.
Yeah.
going on.
Yeah, we like, wait for it to ferment, then there was still a bottle conditioning, so it'd be like 5 weeks, and then you pop one, it's like, oh, this is just purely
So it was
oxidized,
not worth the wait.
I saw a couple of pictures recently online of carboys exploding. Have you seen some of those?
Oh no!
Not
my
exploding
Lord.
outward, but upward,
yeah.
and just stout on the ceiling and stuff like that. It's like, oh no.
Number one.
The worst.
Yeah, definitely. As we upped our game, our most recent homebrew setup is we were fermenting in glass carboys, and it was just always you read about these horror stories more than a clogged airlock or something, just them falling and like cutting your leg off pretty much.
Oh my god! Oh, just seeing it murder.
Fear of mine.
Carnage! Pure carnage!
You walk in, the dog's limping. Oh no!
No, not again.
God,
where's the beer?
Like stupidly doing like pressure transfers out of them, so it's very dangerous.
Oh, boy.
I'm always like, this thing's about to blow up and like murder both of us.
Like, duck.
How many safety goggles?
Remember when
did
you
go
were a
through?
kid and you'd worry about like getting stuck in quicksand as an adult? Like that was a fear you had.
Yeah.
Did you ever think like, well, I'll grow up and I'll worry about like a carboy cutting my leg off?
How did Gunnar die? Shrapnel
You're way
from
off.
a cowboy.
Oh my god! Well, listen. Obviously, you made big strides to up your game a little bit. So you're in.
bit.
You were in the Brooklyn area when you guys were doing that, right?
Yeah, well, and then when we moved out here as well, we kind of we really upped our game actually when we moved out here. Because we had like a little more space, we had a little basement, so we could really get some proper temperature control going and get like little bigger batches going.
What kind of system were you guys working on?
We have a little 3 kettle, gas powered, outdoor.
Cool. Yeah.
Couple pumps. Yeah, it worked.
Great.
Yeah, it was great. We loved it. But
What were some of the first brews you did when you guys came out here and were working off that 3 kettle system? And do any of them still exist today in the larger format?
Yeah. Actually, so like since August, we've pretty much been brewing our favorite beers that we kind of kept on brewing and honing in on this system. So
yeah.
like,
So the Hellas is pretty much a scaled up exact version of a beer we brewed many times in that system.
Yeah, the Schwarzbier.
The Schwarzbier is the same. And then our IPAs, and we can get into this a little more when we talk about the beers, but it's in the IPAs that we've kind of seen the more variance in scaling up between going from the homebrew system into the beer system. So we've been iterating on our IPAs and kind of tweaking them to suit the large system that we're brewing at Uber Geek.
Well, let's talk about that, because you guys went from that home brewing system and you guys kind of dialed in some good recipes. The Hellas is delicious, by the way, and we'll get into, like you said, the things later. But you kind of went on this this idea that it's time to move to the next level.
Yeah. What was that deciding factor? When did you guys both go, all right, we need to do this like for real now?
We kind of, so like that was part of the reason that we started brewing. I grew up in Springs and my dad has an auto body shop, and he's always kind of talked about retiring and like what will happen with the shop, because I'm not going into auto body. And,
What?
but like, would an artist take it over as like a fabrication studio? And which like my
welding
parents asked me about, and I like kept on being like, it should be a brewery. And then I got Gunnar on board with that idea, and then
and with the architecture background, whatever space it is, you guys are going to be able to build what you want to build, I would assume, right? I mean, that's kind of the angle you're looking at it at.
Yeah. And so a couple years ago, or about a year and a half ago, my dad was finally talking about retiring, and I think they didn't understand how serious we were about the brewery, and so we decided to move in with them and show them how serious by taking over their basement and their garage and turning it into our little beer experimentation lab, and like putting pen to paper and making it happen. So it's been a little bit of a crazy.
Now, was that a conversation you had? Like you sat down, like, listen, we're serious about this. We want the auto body shop. We're going to brew beer, and we're going to show you how serious we are. Is that really like an honest conversation at a dinner table you having?
It was like us like dropping lots of hints and more straightforward.
Hey, Dad, you want a beer? Here, you try this one. It's really good, right?
Then you like hear your parents like still talking about like selling the shop or something. Then you're like, okay, I don't understand how much more serious. Like,
you just yell from the living room, brewery. It's going to be a brewery. Just screaming at them.
But yeah, I think they finally come around. My dad, they refer to it as the brewery sometimes. So it's cool. It's like really awesome living with them. We don't live with them anymore, but living with them at first, like my dad, they both drink like Peroni and like they were
you weren't able to like get them over to the dark side yet?
I think that's probably why they were
drinking. Now they are. Like,
lagers. Okay. If they brew lagers, they will come.
IPAs.
Oh yeah,
for sure. That's got to be the enthusiasm behind the Helles. I mean, it's like, hey, you like Peroni? Try this Helles. Check this out.
Right. Yeah. That was kind of how our angle. We started
the angle.
And we're like, here, this is like your Peroni, and then also try this IPA. And
and by the way, Pop, you can have all the beer you want. You never had to buy. You never had to buy any again.
Yeah.
It's funny too. Now he has our kegerator, and he's like, "Could I get another keg?" I don't want the lagers anymore, so it's like,
he uses the line, well, if you want the shop, I'm going to need another keg.
Remember, I gave you that shop, right? Remember that? Where's my keg?
Give me my keg. So you guys in I guess a point of this whole process that you have the shop and you're starting, or where are we at in that whole kind of long journey that you're about to embark on to be a brick and mortar out there?
So we're kind of working right now. We're working on the design, showing preliminary plans to the town, kind of working on getting all our kind of permits and getting together like a plan that works for the space, and the zoning and all of the kind of requirements. So that's kind of the process that we're in right now.
Right now, what licensing do you guys have?
For brewing, we're just
wholesale.
Yeah, we just have our wholesale license that allows us to contract brew. So no kind of license for the actual future location yet.
Farm, microbrewery, or
farm.
Farm?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of our.
Or
well, that's kind of their thing because they're going to do sustainability kind of stuff. So they probably you got a number of hop yards out there and a lot of grain in New York in general. So you'll probably end up so the current brews, again, without getting into detail, because we're going to break them down later. How much of New York State ingredients do you have in your current brews?
Right now we kind of focus specific beers for the New York to feature New York ingredients. Okay. None of these ones feature that many, unfortunately. Okay. Our Kolsch was pretty much 100% New York, so we loved that beer. That was a great.
I think that's the other one I had. I had the IPA, the green label, and then I've had the Kolsch before. Yeah,
nice.
Yeah, and that one had citrus from New Jersey, and then our friend Greg has the Hoppy Acre, which is a hop farm in Amagansett. So we've been helping him with his hops and harvested all of the hops.
Oh, cool.
This past fall, and so
that's fun.
That's a lot of fun, isn't it? The first day it's real fun. After that, it's not so much.
Just wear gloves. That's it. Wear gloves.
Yeah, but so those hops were featured in our pale ale, Sandy Loam. So yeah, that kind of sourcing of ingredients is super important to us. And we want it to be, a meaningful contribution to the beer.
Well,
Sorry, I'm setting up Instagram, so Stephen, take it away. Or Peter.
We just cracked this the black lager.
Yep, I'm behind.
Yeah, this Schwartz, and we are very particular, all three of us, to black lagers, black IPAs. So if you want to whip out a black IPA, in the near future, we will
tomorrow they'll be doing black IPAs.
Definitely be buying some of that from you. It's great to see that a couple of the offerings that you guys have right now. You do have
Crispy Boys.
Well, yes, the Crispy Boys. But yeah, it's a nice, just the 4 cans that we have. I'd like it's a good representation of what you guys are probably going to be doing. And we're only into the second one right now, but so far, so good.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
So you guys are working on like plans and stuff like that. Does the town have all the check boxes you need for a brewery? Water supply, sewage, drainage, disposal, sanitation, stuff like that?
Those are all still questions we're working through, So it's there's a lot of moving parts right now.
Yeah, the kind of only precedent out here is Montauk's tap room. And I think typically no spaces out here go from being not wet use to wet use. So I think it's a little bit of an uphill battle, but the town's been really supportive. I think they want to see more local kids coming back and starting things. And so the kind of reception that we've been getting has been really positive.
Well, let's hope so, because sometimes you get, those older that have been on the town board for a long time and they don't want to budge for anything.
Well, they're not changing their mind. Yeah,
right.
For sure.
They don't want to budge. They're like, oh, this is the way it's been done. Well, how about let's not do it that way anymore?
What's the township is Springs?
It's a hamlet within the town of East Hampton.
So it's East Hampton. Okay.
All right.
I don't know if you're going to have too much pushback out there. I think you probably would have already heard rumblings of that. So it may be an easy go. And what do you, Lindsay, what do your parents say about the town? Is it something that would probably open arms, accept, and everything?
It's known as the town of no, but we got a resounding yes during our first town planning meeting.
It's only no when it doesn't come to beer. It's like, can we have scooters? No.
Yeah.
Can we have segways? No. But can we have beer? Oh, yeah, no, with a lot of beer.
Yeah, well, you know what, too? It's not like you guys are opening a 10,000 square foot facility. Those are the ones they don't want to see. They don't want to see these big monstrosities that they feel that it's going to impact traffic. And it's going to be a noise problem.
Yeah, the noise
where
tends to be a
you guys, you're going to be smaller. You're going to be more hyper local, as I like to say, and more of a community thing where the locals could all come in and it's not far from their homes and enjoy some really good beer that you guys are going to be putting out. So hopefully they look at it that way and. Because townships, they're usually the worst.
Well, they also have to see the
state,
economic growth.
The government.
People are going to go out on a beer tour. They're going to hit that South Fork, and that's going to be their stop. And when they stop into this nice little hamlet, they'll bring, people to the bars, the restaurants, and other places like that, which tourism in the on-season,
Sure.
spring, summer, fall, that's a big deal for a lot of these hamlets. That's where they make their money. And, the Hamptons really don't need much of that, right, money, but... maybe a town, like a small hamlet might. Maybe they say like the village, especially after these last 2 years, could use a little boost in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, that's exactly right. The small community space, that's, it's about the beer. That's exactly what we're trying to do.
Sure.
Not some huge place. It's not some gigantic, event space. It's really a small place, a community space where people can get together and have
and just
really
to back that up, you guys are selling your beer, out of the distribution is happening out of the Springs General Store, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Christy at the General Store has been so nice and supportive, and we're basically selling the majority of our beer out of that store, and it's great. it's great. For her, it's great for us. It seems to be a great working relationship. And, the Springs General Store is this amazing institution. It's been there for hundreds of years, and it's just this amazing old general store. It's like, it's so cool.
It's a nice relationship because now you guys can start getting your brand out there to the local community as people stop by, and you might have a table set up for tastings or whatever it is, and you might have some of the distribution out of the store. It's like a preface to what's coming, and it'll get people excited for it for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Totally, yeah, and I think it's kind of like a misconception a lot of times that like the Hamptons is all like super bougie, and I think that's kind of taken hold for like a lot of the spaces out here.
Yeah.
And so there aren't really like a lot of spaces that you can go to and have like a chill, good beer that's affordable and that you feel comfortable in. And I think, for me growing up in Springs, and then Springs has always been kind of this like working class kind of
I was gonna say blue collar town kind of thing.
Yeah, and like it's also been a hub for a lot of creative people, like artists and stuff. And so I think that we want to like really bring all of those facets of the history of Springs together in one place that feels really inclusive and accessible to everyone.
Yeah, and not too many people have heard of the Hamlet as you call it. Yeah, I when I heard Springs, I'm like, oh, it's got to be upstate, and then I started looking on the Instagram and went, oh no, it's definitely right here on Long Island, and I'm like, where is this? And so I don't think too many people know about it. So also, it then highlights the town as the name of the brewery. It gives them a location to kind of associate it with, and like you said, the vibe of the town is got that more laid back art feel, which again, people will travel some distance for that vibe outside of the hustle and bustle of the bougie Hamptons.
Totally. Yeah.
So you're in the midst of that whole ordeal of putting together the brewery. What are the things you're looking for? What are the check boxes? What are you thinking about for equipment, and what is going to be your main focus when you guys start to open up?
I think right now we're kind of bouncing around.
Yeah, we're kind of, we haven't kind of finalized the exact setup we want, but
take your time.
We're looking at about like a 10 barrel system.
Okay.
We want to be able to meet demand, but we want to keep it on the smaller side as well. We want to. Our tap room, is going to be a very small, not very small, but a cozy place.
I'm going to suggest maybe a pond out in the back with otters.
Otters, I love otters. I do. That's Steve's thing, guys. Steve loves otters.
Somebody needs to bring otters, and
they'll just run away. They don't want to hang out.
If I'm there, they will hang out.
Maybe they like beer. You don't know that.
You see that? Thank you, Peter.
We actually don't know that. You're right. I want to see if we can conduct a study.
I want to.
And then we'll see if otters truly do like some sort of beer format.
They might be alcoholics, and I'm going to wind up
we
wiping
don't
them out.
even know.
I'm going to wipe
Maybe
them
they
out.
want spent grain otter treats.
See?
Instead of spent grain doggy treats.
See that?
Which my dog just ate up like crazy. Love those spent grain dog treats. So good. Do you guys have a
beer maker? BEERMK.
Yes. Do you get? Do you guys have ideas like that? Are you going to kind of look for, like spent grain going to farms, dairy farms? I know there's a lot of cheese places out east. As things that are on your mind as like things you want to kind of direct your attention to?
Yeah, definitely farms. One of our friends started a pasta company, and another one started a bread company, and they've been interested in kind of incorporating the spent grain into their products. Cool. We do a bunch of farm projects, and so I think we could definitely see that farm connection.
Yeah, one of the good things.
Please tell me more about spent grain and pasta. Two of the things that make me.
It's interesting, like
the way I am.
What, with COVID?
No, his carbohydrate life. That's what he has.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
if you guys
don't exactly know how that would work.
People,
let them do that. They're the pasta makers.
I know how it works. It doesn't really impart that much. The tricky thing is like after you make a beer, all of kind of the nutrients, the flavor, the sugars have been stripped from the malt. So then the spent grain doesn't really add too much. It is really
spent
just
grain.
like,
Yeah, I don't know. Spent grain linguine. I don't. Maybe you instead of squid ink linguine, you do Schwarzbier linguine.
Oh, now we're talking.
Yeah,
We are talking.
it would go nice with a fine Chianti and a little
fava beans.
fava beans.
I got those like squid ink pastas, except with
Schwarzbier. Yes, I like it. I had a great question, then you guys started to become funny again, so I laughed and forgot all about it. Sorry, Stephen and Peter. No, I mean the idea though of what you guys are going to be doing. You like Steve said, just take your time with it because you want to do it right. You don't want to have to go backwards and redo things very quickly because a lot of your money and time is going to be wrapped up into just getting it off. Do you have an idea of the first few beers you want to brew when you get into the space? I know, again, it's a ways off, but like, what would be that one beer that you're like, oh, that's got to be the first one on the board?
Hellas.
Hellas will definitely
Black lager, black IPA.
Yeah. We try to like take a really like cyclical view of our beers, and so like right now we're thinking that we would open the beginning of next summer. I feel like that will definitely get pushed back, in which case it'd probably put us in Kolsch and like pale ales season. But then if we're looking at fall, it's definitely going to be the Hellas and
the first one's going to be a pumpkin beer.
No, don't do it. It's fine to have it. It's not
going to
fine
be a pumpkin with a lot of rim on it.
Well, they are out in the Forks where they grow a lot of pumpkins, so it's going to be very easy to find as much pumpkin as possible. So you guys, obviously, let's back up just a little bit. You guys have been contracting with Rob out of Uber Geek. Tell us about how that relationship started and kind of how it's all been flowing.
Yeah, it's been a great relationship. We just we reached out to him as soon as we got our SLA permit. We were looking for a brewery to contract that. We reached out to Rob, and we brought him some of our home brews that we had been working on.
I thought you were going to say Spank Rain. That wasn't bad.
So, have you seen this stuff? It's great.
Man, you see Spank Rain? Shit, you can make pasta with this stuff.
You can do anything. Yeah.
I'm thinking baby food. Rob would need that more than anything.
Yeah, right now. Yeah.
Oh man, Rob, I'm on it. I got it. I'll get 2 scientists on it tomorrow.
Spent grain baby food.
It could be squash. That'll go well, right?
Showed him some of our beers and talked a little bit about our approach to making beer, and he's just the most knowledgeable person back in the brew house. So he's he knows his system so well, and and he's super accommodating.
Chill. He's a chill dude.
Yeah,
he's a chill dude. He knows what he's doing. So like everything that we cared about, we could, we're there the whole time on brew day, and we're kind of, the whole time it's a dialogue. We're telling him what we want to keep our eye on, what we want to check, what's important to us about this this brew, what's important in each step of the way, and he can do it. He accommodates pretty much every little detail that we fuss over. So
I think Rob was like I don't know. There was just a lot of synergy there when we met, and I think for us coming from design backgrounds and potentially being overbearing and very controlling, he understood why and appreciates that, and there's a real it dialogue there that I think that we were so happy when we found him, because we were checking out other places, and it all kind of just worked out. And also driving to Riverhead is much closer.
It's just a little bit.
Yeah, we were talking about, the other potentials. You mentioned GSB, and it was just way too much to start out. What barrels were they telling you were going to do? What was the capacity?
GSB, there's a 30 barrel.
Jesus Christ.
So at Rob's we're doing the 7 barrel, which is kind of the perfect size for us right now.
Steve, how many cases is 30 barrel?
Oh shit!
Oh shit!
Yeah, you're talking several pallets worth.
Several pallets.
Oh, easily.
Oh my god! And where do you go with that?
Yeah, where do you put that?
A big ingredient bill too. That's
Oh,
a big
geez.
grain bill to,
sure.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
when you're just getting started out.
But the
Right,
best part is probably they were like, "Oh yeah, we'll start you out small in the 30 barrel. We're not going to put you in the 90 barrel or the 120 barrel.
We'll fit you in between the
We'll give you the smaller one, the 30.
the Hell's Kitchen seltzer rounds.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ! I was telling you guys, I walked through GSB and I saw maybe 5 or 6 pallets of the same Hell's Kitchen flavor, just one flavor. It was 5 pallets in a row, and I went, wow, what are you going to do with all this? Where's it all going? And obviously it's going across country.
Oh, that's only the first half. They already shipped the other
Right.
half.
They already fulfilled their quota.
Distro.
They, from what I had when talking to Paulie about it, supposedly they've done over 100 pallets already.
100 pallets?
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
That 5 pallets was their low fills, Mike.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, my bad.
Well,
5 pallets of low fill.
the one thing, if you remember what Greg was saying, they get to sell it at
Right.
Great South Bay.
Right. They get this out of there. That's true.
Fuck, I forgot about that.
Yeah. That's a hell of a. So obviously, guys, Great South Bay was a non-starter with 30 barrels. And then they offered you Paul over at Ghost, a good buddy of ours, but it's still the capacity, right, was just a little too much for what you guys are willing to jump into.
yeah,
Even
And
there,
it was
he has like a 15 barrel brew house.
Well, yeah, that's
house,
what-
right?
15.
Yeah, it was really like the refrigeration issue was
Yeah.
huge for us. Like we didn't, even if we did the 30 or the 15, like we were about to sign on to do that. Like, and then like the next day, Rob like miraculously like responded to us.
Bum-ba-da-bum.
It really was a miracle.
yeah.
And then Rob also has like refrigeration that we can use. So
I
it
am
was-
Uber Geek. I am here to save you.
Exactly.
Yeah, totally.
So obviously, it was a perfect match because of their capacity, their ability to store for you, your ability to go in and kind of do that self-distro as you guys have been doing. So the brew process, as you guys are going in there, are you very hands-on? Are you there each day the brews are being done?
Yeah, totally. That's something that's super important to us. You know, just we totally would trust Rob if we wanted to do the kind of hands-off approach, but we're kind of control freaks and kind of obsess over small things that
Well, also, you're going to have to
I
do
don't-
this yourself eventually.
I would not want to be their contractor when they get a contractor to start building out their place.
With the actual auto body?
They're
They're going to design it.
They've
The contractor has
mentioned
to
that
do what they say.
They've mentioned that they're control freaks about 9 times
Yes,
in this
well.
conversation, and they're actually scaring me a little bit now.
Well, thank God you're not a contractor.
No, I am so happy I'm not.
May I
I'll
suggest-
drink the hell out of their beer.
If anyone we know is listening to this right now, they're probably like, wow, at least they recognize
Yes.
that. And then-
Yes, you own up to it, which is the first sign.
You're on your way to redemption in that regard. I know a lot of good contractors, but I'm sure there's some out there. You guys have people lined up already, interviewing people, finding out what people are thinking about the space and whatnot?
We're not quite there yet, but
Yeah.
we have a bunch of contacts we know. So
Yeah.
once we get there, we'll.
Once you pull that trigger,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. You're locked in.
Right.
Once they start demo, you're like, it's happening.
and they're putting the drains in, and here we go.
Oh, here we go. When they're knocking out the floor. Oh, Peter, I can't put you on now. I was going to put us up for a second. So, I mean, that whole relationship with Rob obviously is working very well. The first brew day, were you nervous? What was going through your mind?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we were so
totally
nervous.
nervous, excited. I think it happened to be Lindsay's birthday, July 27th.
It was so hot.
It was
Wow.
it was so hot.
There's nothing better than a hot, steamy day in the brew house.
We started at 5 a.m. So we had to get up at 3.
Yeah, to leave
leave.
East Hampton.
Yeah.
Only get dirty and shower by 10.
Yeah.
No, it was a great day. The brew day, went off without a hitch. We had a couple kind of random things that day, but yeah, no, it was great. Because we didn't know at that time. Still, we didn't know Rob too well. We didn't know exactly how the process was going to go. And it just, it really gave us a lot of confidence in that, in brewing with him there.
You made the right choice.
Yeah. So it was great. So yeah, we pretty much instantly then like booked the next brew day, which was just like a couple of weeks after that. And we've been brewing regularly there, ever since. So
How many total beers have you guys done at Uber Geek so far?
I think 8 or 9.
Yeah.
Oh
Wow.
shit!
A lot of
Wow.
labels already.
Yeah, cool.
And at Hellas, we did 14 barrel.
Yeah, we did a double batch of that.
Oh, wow.
Smart move.
Smart. I
Yeah.
was just gonna say, good
Yeah,
move.
choice.
That's a good one.
Good
Yeah.
move.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's nice because it's only just like lagering and getting cleaner. We still have a decent amount left, but it's just getting just hitting its stride. I feel like it's about
It's
a couple
delicious.
months old now. Yeah.
No, it's
Yeah.
delicious. It's perfect. Don't change
And then-
it. Whatever you did, don't change it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have a preference of any styles that you like to brew, or
Hey, that's my questions.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
that's
no.
from?
that's Steve's
no,
fourth
it's not.
question.
Wait, what's my fourth question?
That's another whole bit. We have a whole segment devoted to that. The question is, what was that first brew you brewed with him? Was it the Kolsch or was it the IPA?
It was an IPA.
Yeah.
Okay.
Arafusa
Yeah.
was the first one.
That was a smart move. Come out with an IPA first, just to put
Yeah.
yourself on the map.
Why wouldn't you come out with like I don't know.
Puddle water?
Yeah.
Yeah, like we did.
Water.
Well, that beer
Yeah,
was
we
unique into its
we love
own.
brewing IPAs, and then we love brewing the kind of more traditional lagers, and we love having that kind of balance and dialogue, and the lagers we use as a little more of kind of mainstay and seasonal, and then the IPAs we're really taking this iterative approach. So the first IPA was Arathusa, which we brewed in August, and we haven't brewed that again. We've brewed like
Any-
4 other IPAs since then.
Any other styles besides those? Those ones, the IPAs, the Hells, the Schwarz, anything like any stouts, any Belgians?
No,
We're
we
not-
have a really good stout recipe, but it was actually funny when we brewed Totog. Everyone was like, "Ooh, Schwarz beer! Like you're gonna be sitting on that one for a while." And
Rats, they don't know anything.
exactly.
Freaking it all.
We were done with that one by
Nerds.
like, Christmas. So
Nice.
Oh.
Yeah.
yeah,
As you
so-
should be, because it's delicious. By the way, we're into that one now.
Well, here's the thing too. When people say that, they don't know any better. If
Sour
the beer,
grapes?
If the beer is good,
Yeah.
it will sell.
Yes. Correct.
If the
Right.
beer isn't good and you're holding on to it, then
They were right.
they were right, and
Time to move on.
it's because there is way too many breweries.
Another IPA on the docket.
Bro,
Put it
there's-
on schedule.
There are way too many times I'll see breweries and all of a sudden they're like, "Hey, we got a sale on these cans. You could get a 4-pack for like $8 now," and it's like,
Why?
Why all of a sudden are you? Because
Curious.
it's
Not
getting
moving.
it's getting to that point
Yeah.
where you have to move it or you
You
dump
lose
it. Yeah.
Move it or lose
Right.
it.
Yep.
Right.
So the first beer was an IPA, but since then you've had 7 other labels. What would be as the next few labels coming up? I usually ask this at the end, but what's in the tanks right now? What do you have as the next kind of release? Because we have the double IPA. We'll get into that later, which was your most recent release. What's the next one on the schedule?
we're gonna actually brew Lazy Lightning again
Ah, good.
Yeah.
next week.
So that's
Yeah, or tomorrow.
on Wednesday.
yeah.
Yeah. So we're brewing Lazy Lightning again, which
Okay.
was an IPA, and we can talk about it
Yeah,
then. But
that's the next one up we have here, so it'll be perfect
yeah,
timing
it
when we
was,
get into that.
It was just a big hit. We loved it. Everyone loved it. And we're like, and when we brewed that, the whole time we're kind of like, maybe this is gonna be like our first like somewhat flagship kind of IPA, and we really kind of think it has that ability to be that kind of around a lot of the time. So that's kind of where we see that, and so we're brewing that Wednesday. And then we've got a brew schedule lined up for the next several months.
We have a Pilsner that our friend has a farm on the North Fork, and he grew some barley that we had malted over
Conzella?
winter. So that will be going in probably after Lazy Lightning.
Yeah, we're super excited to brew that with our friend Treber Farms up on the North Fork.
Cool.
His barley that he grew and harvested, which is super cool. And then as we go into the summer months, we want to brew some kind of lighter styles. We're going to bring back our Kolsch. We brewed in October. We're going to brew that a little earlier on, so it's a real summer refresher. And then we kind of want to transition as it gets warmer, transition away, kind of not away altogether from the double IPAs, but kind of more towards the lighter pale ales, but in our same kind of IPA style.
You got to have that lawnmower beer, man.
Yeah.
You got to have that.
Summer Crusher.
Yeah, that one there when it's hot, or you're out on the boat, or you're just by the water, and you just need something that's not going to mess you up, but you could drink a ton of it.
Makes me miss summer right now.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Cold and rainy out.
Oh, you know what passed right through my head just now was just a little tiny juicy.
Yeah.
Having a little tiny juicy outside in the
Just
backyard by the
something
pool.
to wet the whistle.
Yeah.
I want to really quickly say hello to a bunch of people on Instagram that were checking in. Long Island LIBME, Hand Grenades was checking in. Heatmeister Brews, buddy of Rob over at Superstar, said thanks for the Fiddens Fidens that I gave to them to try out. But they also, he also really enjoys the way you guys are doing things, appreciates you guys coming into the store and like checking on the freshness, checking to make sure that everything is the way you intended it to be as you're trying to sell your beer and get the brand out there. He said it's all, part and parcel of being, that quality control check that not everyone does and not everyone can do in a way. I guess if you're, upstate or if you're in the upper part of New York or something like that, it's tough to come down to a local spot. But you guys, doing that quality control is a big deal. Have you gone around and done that to all the places you guys have distributed to?
Yeah, we don't really distribute.
Well, self
far and wide
drops.
Yeah. Joey Bruzo, checking in.
Yeah.
What's up, Joey?
So, yeah, we try to kind of keep it. We try to put it in the hands of people we trust.
And you know what? It's funny, when I had first opened the brewery, I handpicked, and you're not really supposed to do this, but I kind of handpicked where I wanted my beer to go.
Right.
I wanted it to go to a place that's going to appreciate it, is going to treat it well, is going to have knowledge that when people go to drink it, they're going to be able beforehand go, you might want to try this. This has notes of this. This has notes of that. And, they're not going to sell it past its prime. They will either let you know and tell you, hey, look, we're coming up on, the end of this beer. What do you want me to do with it? And you guys starting out like the way you are, you can do that. You can kind of pick and choose where you want it to go. And
I mean,
the people it's going to reach.
The prime spot is on the top shelf underneath the heater, right?
Well,
it's perfect.
Exactly I'm not even joking.
Especially if it's in front of the window.
Right. That very first beer I
blast in the sun.
Yeah, exactly.
That's super important. Something that's super important to us, and yeah, it's great. Being this kind of small and being able to kind of really just distribute to a few places, and being able to go and check in on it and kind of swap out some of the stuff, some of the older stuff if it's not moving, because there's so many great beers out there right now that. We want to make sure that if someone buys our beer, because it's not super cheap, craft beer, you pay a premium for a craft beer and you want to try it. And we need it to be in its best state for that. And we don't want to.
And you don't want to get lost on the shelf either.
Right.
You want somebody that's going to kind of push your brand, so to speak, for you. Especially once they see that you're not a brewery that dumps it off and whatever. We're not checking on it. Just sell it for us. You'll be surprised. A lot of the home Ds, a lot of the guys that have these places. They like when somebody comes in and actually speaks with them and tells them, or checks on their product. Majority of the time it's here it is. Here's your cases. Here's your your kegs and
Move along.
Yeah.
Move along. Shift along.
So that's a good thing to start out with. You always want to make a good first impression.
Really quick, just a bunch of people checking in. I guess Marge Rhodes, I guess Joey Bruzzo saying he knows your farmer friend. We'll find out a little more about that later, I guess. Gammon on the gram, Peter. It's your cousin?
Hi, cousin.
Your cousin's checking in. She says hi. Devin Richard, I guess. Lucy Ann London saying hello to everyone on Instagram right now. Checking in. I'm now borrowing Steve's phone so I can check it because my phone's sitting up on a stand over here.
On a stick.
I have to say goodbye to Instagram. Instagram is two things you need to know. Number one, we are in full video and audio over on the Govs Radio podcast. So just go to Govs Comedy Club podcast on Facebook or YouTube and continue watching over there. We're going to shut the Instagram down in just a minute because we have a segment coming up that I need my phone for.
Oh, my.
And also, if anyone likes to call in, I failed to mention this at the top of the show, but call in. You could have a chance to win a prize pack. We have prize packs to give away. We have for the last
prize pack?
You can't win it.
No, Peter.
God damn it.
By the way, it was only spent grain, so
It's a bag of spent grain.
Bag of spent grain, bro. So
It's
I think you already have
Schwartz beer
some.
linguine.
Yes,
5 pounds
and-
of Schwartz beer linguine.
Yes.
If you do check us out in the full video format on YouTube and Facebook, you could see the phone number at the bottom of the screen, but the phone number is 516-465-3990. And by the way, Lucy Ann's texting and saying, Drinking Devil's Whisper, thank you for helping make such a delicious beer, Peter. Stephen, rather. We will talk to you about that.
I didn't make it.
I know
had
you.
nothing to do with that.
You had to spend grain.
Mr. Can't Be President joined in. Listen, guys, on Instagram, we're going to get out of here for just a minute, and we'll come back on Instagram in a little bit, and we'll get back to any of your questions that you might have through that, as well as our phone number, 516-465-3990. Full video and audio up on YouTube and Facebook, and we'll be right back with that. Steve, why don't you preface your segment really quick for these folks?
Okay. All right. So everybody that comes on the show now started out just randomly doing some questions, but now we have a full format. We have music. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. But anyway, I'm going to ask you guys 3 questions. Simple questions.
Don't ask him yet. I didn't play the music yet. All right.
They're simple questions. Okay. I'm going to give you one question at a time. And I'm sorry, Gunnar, ladies going to go first. So you're going to have to. You'll be second. So don't skew your answer because what she said, just to try to look better or anything like that. You don't get style points for that.
No
style points for that. But yeah, so I'm going to ask you guys 3 questions and just answer it as honestly. Think about it for a few moments. But it's interesting. We see a lot of times we see the same answers, which is
similarities,
pretty cool.
but there are some differences that really spark the conversation. So we're going to get right back with Steve's questions in just a second. Let me cue that up.
Hey, you cool hep cats. Tonight, we bring you a very special presentation. 3 questions with our very own Steve Pominski. Yeah. Steve's questions. 3 questions from Steve. 3 questions. Steve's questions. Go.
And if there was any indication how many questions there were going to be, I'm pretty sure it said it 4 times.
17. There's 17 questions.
The questions will be 3.
Very detailed.
Not 1, not 2, but 3.
Thrice.
4 is out.
I like that.
So is 5 and 6.
Can I mention this on the air, Pete? I like that we sent out that post to us in the group chat about Thrice playing at AC Beer Fest.
Yes.
And Pete goes, "What you said?" Yeah. It was. So, are they playing 3 times? I thought there was only 2 sessions or something like that.
It's kind of suck going all 3 sessions.
Who was going to Beer Fest 3 times?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There you go. I was like, no, Pete. Literal Pete over here.
Peter.
All right, Steven, take it away.
All right. So we're going to start off question number 1. Question 1 is going to be, what was that beer that turned you on? And you guys already mentioned that you came like from a crowd of like these people that were into craft beer. But what was that one craft beer that opened your eyes and you said, "Wow, there's something else going on here besides drinking Natty Lights or something like that"? I like that. I like this.
She's actually thinking though. Some people just blurt stuff out. It's like a
There's been so many different phases, but I'd say the OG is probably Sierra Nevada.
Yeah, there it is again.
Yeah.
Popular answer.
Yes.
Very popular answer.
We need a chalkboard.
And the thing with that popular answer is it's because it's a really goddamn good beer.
Yeah, yeah. It's not like a fluke. It's that it's delicious.
No. It's just that seems to be such a strong contender.
Sure. It's up there. Gunnar?
So I'm from Buffalo originally, so I grew up drinking a lot of Canadian pilsners.
Oh, shit.
Labatt Blue. And
Yes.
Lagers for days.
So that was,
Labatt Blue.
that was what I grew up on. And then, you just drink those like water. And then I remember, one time I was probably like 16 or something in this bar late at night, and
Allegedly.
someone ordered a pitcher of like Sam Adams winter ale or something, and I'm just like, wow, like this is really fucking good,
Yeah.
And so that kind of like opened my mind to the more flavorful beers, and then it became kind of Dogfish, 60 Minutes, Sierra Nevada, that kind of thing.
Cool.
Yeah.
We
I have such an intense craving for Labatt Blue now. God damn it.
So good.
And that's actually Sam, those, we get that a lot. We get obviously the Sierra Nevada a lot. We get Magic Hat number 9's another contender in there that a lot of people say that kind of turned them on. Right now, we're not going to go overall, but right now, what's your favorite style of beer? Thinking again.
Been like my favorite for a very long time, but I'm ready for some pale ales.
All right. Okay. I like, you know what? And I say right now because I know, like myself, I go through phases. There are times where I'm like, I'm all about crispy boys, and then all of a sudden it's stouts and porters, and then next thing I know, I'm drinking hazies. So,
Totally.
Yeah.
Gunnar, what's your favorite your style right now?
Right now, it's right now. I feel like in this time of winter, I feel like I just love, just like a nice IPA, I think these two IPAs
West Coast-ish,
kind of,
East Coast-ish,
really representative of the kind of IPA I love drinking.
Okay.
In all year, but especially in the winter, something that has a little bit more of a hop bite, a little bit more of a bitterness, and just a nice body, and just something that you can easy drinking and just nice,
it goes down nice and smooth and warms the belly.
Something kind of like dank but drinkable.
Yeah.
There you go.
Heady toppings.
I mean, what, like GSB's dank beer that they came up with?
Which one is that?
They added. Remember, it was Greg was talking about they put down style as dank and
the
TTB
style.
took it.
Yeah. All right.
And the TTB took it, and they were like, "Oh shit, I guess it's a style now."
I just threw it in there to a brand new.
Shit,
that's fantastic. I forgot about that. That's right. Jeez.
So, final question: you going out? You go a bar, restaurant. What's that one beer that you want to see on tap? That if you see it, that's the one you're getting, and it could be any beer from anywhere.
Style or like the beer?
The beer.
I mean, I feel like our old haunts in Brooklyn, if I saw Suarez, it was like, I was drinking 6 of those.
Suarez family, there you go.
Yeah.
That's the first time we've heard that one.
Yeah,
that's
definitely.
a good one. That's actually. I mean, have anyone ever said like Hillstead Farm?
Oh,
No. Farm,
what?
Farmstead
Who?
Hills?
What?
Hillstead Farmstead?
Oh, Hill Farmstead.
Hill Farmstead?
What? Boone's Farm apple wine? What?
Fiddens Fidens?
Fid Fidens?
No one said that yet.
No one has said anything. That's I actually that's a unique one. You guys get extra bonus points for that.
Yeah.
Ding 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 ding.
It's like
For me, that's I mean, for both of us too. It's Heady Topper or those random drops happen. It's like we're like, oh, gotta go get that.
Still so susceptible to the hype, and as am I. I'll be the first one to be like, dude, who do I know in that area that can get on that line for 4 hours and buy me the beer, and I'll give them $20 and buy them a 4-pack. And
bro, you had a guy getting your Fid Fidens.
I know. I told them all about that. I told them about the beer maker. I told them about hopsters.
Why would you tell you that?
Because it's such a good story.
It's a story of
we paid a lot of money for that story. We better be able to tell it.
we were crushed, demoralized, and had a lot of sadness in our heart.
Peter, how do you feel about it?
I'm kind of waiting for it to just explode in the can in my basement.
Oh, that's right. He has the one can.
No, I have the one of both labels, both beers.
You're gonna take a.
It's in the window, but it's in a window with a shade on it. So it's hard. It's not a typical like this.
What she said.
There's enough give on the regular cans. There's no give on this thing. If I push it too hard, it's gonna explode. And that's okay. You know what?
And that's okay. You know what? Because
I didn't learn my lesson.
Not only did they get our money, but now they're going to take an eye from you.
No, I won't be down there. They'll take a window from me.
They're going to take your window out, and they're going to.
I'm going to have to buy sheetrock and
yes,
new things to. It's going to be a mess, but that's what I paid for.
That's what happens.
That's what happens.
That's what happens.
The last answer.
Yeah.
Well, it was I'm too busy doing because the camera went out, and no one would know. But the camera went out. The Instagram I had to get back up, but I didn't do it yet. And a lot of things going on around here.
Things going on.
I'm moving. I'm shaking. Baby.
Thanks a lot, Pete, for not fucking being here and helping out. You know,
Pete doesn't help out even.
Oh wait, what the fuck would I do?
Wait, you're right. Never mind.
Oh, Jesus.
I mean, I set the whole board up and everything today, so.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I'm excited to talk about these beers because I enjoyed so far. I know I got to finish the Black Lager. I haven't finished yet. I had at least 75% of that beer because Steve's on his lowdown showdown deal. Hold on a second before we get into the beer. We might have a caller. Let's see who this
I can hear the phone. I won't hear the person talking on the phone.
This is the Wort with Mike, Pete, and Steve, GovsRadio.com. Who do we got on the phone today?
Hi, my name is Tony from Farmingdale.
Tony from Farmingdale. You're on the phone.
Hear him.
Fucking guy.
You can hear him?
Hi.
Yeah.
I want to
okay.
Congratulations
Can he hear me?
to Steve Pominski
Yes.
on his collaboration of his barrage beer that died and is probably going to come back now. But with putting his beer, he won an award, didn't you, Pominski?
Awards are for suckers.
No, you want at least an award to feel good about things. Like one.
A couple.
You like your award from GSB.
GSB.
GAFB. GAF.
No, the one I like is the
Why did I say GSB? Because I'm talking about Grace Bay before, that's why.
GABF.
GABF. I always get the acronyms wrong.
The one that still to this day I actually I'll cuddle with once in a while is the World Beer Cup.
Oh, the World Beer Cup one.
Yeah, that's the big
was the Conquer That Divide, right? The Belgian?
Use from the original Barrage Beer Brewery?
Well, listen, Tony from Farmingdale, this is what's going on.
Sony.
So
Can he hear me tell him to go fuck himself?
No.
Is that...
No, he can't.
God damn it.
That's you know what, guys? I think I got that wrong. I'm pretty sure that the caller can't hear you, but you can hear the caller. That's what it was. All right, anyway, so...
Can you pass along my message, though?
Yes, I will. Pete the Talent says F yourself. So this is what's going on, Tony from Farmingdale.
Can I ask you?
No, I want to answer your question. You had a question, so here it is. So Steven has his license still, so it allows him to do collaborations and still release things with the label, right? So he has a bunch of these recipes that he really liked and enjoyed and wanted to brew again. So he reached out to some of his friends throughout the brewing industry that since he's closed, and basically has gone through these processes, not only just to get the beer out there again for the people and the fans that loved it and enjoyed it, but also just, as part and parcel of him still being in the beer community, to just every so often pop up and be like, hey, I'm still around. I'm not dead. And by the way, I'm a host on the Wort.
Maybe make a dime or two.
He doesn't make anything. Nice, right? He enjoys the camaraderie. He's not looking to do this as a self-sustaining, financial freedom type of thing. No, well, it's just about getting the beer out there.
And if my wife is listening, this is totally true, hon. Yeah. Here we are not spending any money.
Yes.
We're
spending money. We're not making money.
We're spending everybody else's money.
Kaminsky, if I had a bunch of investors come in and say, we would like you to open up a small little brewery somewhere on Long Island, would you be interested, Mr. Kaminsky?
Probably not.
Really? He's that committed to saying no. Well, I would say this. Would you hire him as a brew person, or would you hire him as just a consultant?
Oh, just as a consultant.
That's a different. As long as I don't have a stake in anything at the end of the day, where I could lose money or my shirt.
Actually, you'll have a stake in it. Actually, you'll have a stake in it without putting any money in, because I think if you're going to guide us and help us, you should be rewarded.
This is like Shark Tank. You're on the shark. You're in the tank right now.
In the tank.
You're not. He is.
What's the guy in Buffalo right now? The guy, I don't know if he could hear me.
No one's in Buffalo.
Gunnar?
No, he's not in Buffalo. Stop it. So listen,
John Elway.
They're out on Long Island, on the east end of Long Island. You haven't been listening to the show, Anthony. Tony from Farmingdale. Sorry,
Tony.
Listen, we got to get back to the show because we're limited in time and we got to get through these beers and we have a lot of beer to go through here. Give me one last question for the show. Go.
How is Pete feeling after contracting the herpes?
No, it's COVID, and he's obviously on the Zoom with us, and he's feeling great.
Pete, I hope you're well.
Feeling very COVID-y.
I'm not allowed to promote it, but tell those guys to come hang with us April 7th, all right?
Nice. Will do.
All right. Peace.
Thanks, Tony
Bye,
from
guys.
Farmingdale.
Bye, Tony.
See ya. That's actually not a bad idea. Would you ever put yourself out there as a contract, like a contract consultant kind of thing?
My wife swears
or a
to God.
Contract killer.
Yeah, well,
as a contract killer.
Well, if you remember from a few episodes ago.
Killing people with spent grain in their sleep.
If you remember a few episodes ago, there were many prostitutes buried underneath my pool.
Oh, right. Yeah, you're not going to be able to do anything. You're right. You're going to be brought in on charges immediately. All right, I got it. All right, let's hear it now. Oh,
yes.
Jesus. Because thank you, Tony from Farmingdale. 516-465-3992 if you want to call in and ask a question for our guests today. We have Springs Brewery in the house, and we want to get into these beers immediately. So the first one we started with tonight is the Helles Lager. We enjoyed it immensely. And in fact, we both looked at each other in the studio as we were drinking and went, oh yeah. Yeah, that's what it is. Let's talk about what is going on with this. You guys have brewed this before, obviously. Now you've upscaled it. What were some of the challenges of that? And tell us kind of the brewing process and everything that went into it.
This one, there weren't too many changes in scaling. It's a traditional Munich Helles. So
it was, this was straight up our homebrew recipe, and it's just super simple recipe, but it's a beer that you're not hiding anything, so it's all about really nice ingredients. We used a really nice floor malted Bohemian Pilsner as the kind of base, with a little Munich malt in there as well. And it's about the fine tuning of the water profile, and kind of just getting that balance of hops just right, which we feel like we kind of
Are you guys treating the water pre-boil, or is that just something you're just kind of monitoring as you go along?
Yep, we're treating it. Yeah.
And is it a matter of like soft, hard, or is it just chemical composition? What's the direction you're headed in when you're trying to do that?
Mostly chemical composition. We like to use a fairly consistent water profile for all our beers, and that's something we kind of fine tuned a composition we like while we were homebrewing, and then going to Rob's system, it's a different makeup, but we tried our best to kind of match that. And it's also about working with the base water that's there, and then kind of treating that to kind of create the makeup that we like.
So are you trying to mimic like the water profile you get when you're at home, when you're at Uber Geek?
Essentially, yeah. I mean, we treat the water as well, that we use here at home for home brewing, but
which is like
we try to match that profile essentially.
And we were kind of used to that, like going from Brooklyn to out here, like we adjusted the water profile. Then back.
Yeah, because that water comes from an aquifer upstate, right? It's definitely different water profile, making the pizza and bagels or pizza bagels delicious.
Don't get me started.
Now, is that something you guys have like I guess a piece of software for? How are you finding out that information, or is it public knowledge?
You send it. You basically
send tests, and then usually like the state universities will do like soil and water testing for free.
Wow.
Or you can send it
There's
to
a lab.
I feel like we've talked about that before, right?
Yes.
We've had that discussion before.
Actually,
the whole process of
we
that.
had a brewery on, and his sister was a.
Oh yeah, who was that?
And she
At
was
Artisanal, I feel like we had a water chemistry conversation with them.
and she was like a water.
She worked for that
in Chicago.
in Chicago. Yeah,
Yeah, and we were like, "How's the water?" She's like, "Yeah, it's terrible."
yeah. She called in, right? Did she
Yes.
call? Oh wow, that's right.
She's like, "Yeah, that water's terrible."
Right.
Terrible water in Chicago. Oh, well, that sucks. Good thing we got good water here.
Now this
So wait, I want to get to because that was the Helles.
Oh, okay.
And then we had the dark lager and black lager, really the Marzen, and it was
no, not Mars.
no, I'm sorry, not Marzen. It was a Schwarz beer.
Schwarzbier.
Yeah, sorry. Roasty, delicious. Break that down for me. How did you get to that point?
Well, so this was this was another, both of the lagers were really, we just scaled up exactly our homebrew recipe, and they both kind of turned out exactly how we wanted them on the large scale. So this was a beer that we had tweaked a little bit home brewing, but also this one I think was one that was kind of a home run. We just kind of put together the recipe, and it was kind of a home run when we first brewed, and we're like, oh, there's not too much we want to change. We brewed it a couple times at home, and then just scaled it up, and it's just
Boom.
we kind of got lucky with that one because
Doesn't that feel good though?
Yeah.
When you're like, man, that fucking came out way better than I expected. Nice.
Yeah. Like as opposed to the Helles, which is a very simple beer. It's two types of grain. It's small hop additions. This one is a few different. It's several different grains that make up the grist for this one. So it's a little more complicated, and
this one, didn't we have to switch some that we were using homebrew that we couldn't, like black beans, couldn't we not get?
Yeah, we did have to. We made a couple substitutions that worked out great, and yeah. So
That's got to be a little scary. Like, oh, we'll use this, but it's about the same. Let's hope it comes out good. It came out delicious, guys. That was a delicious beer, and obviously, since it sold out so quick, the audience saw that as well. It being a really delicious beer.
Thanks so much. Yeah.
Now, Steve, we just cracked open the Lightning and
Lazy
Lightning, and both of us looked, and we were, oh yes.
Well,
this feels
when I
like
poured it,
something different.
I kind of give the little aroma first.
Yeah.
As I poured it, the one thing I always love about a well-made beer and a fresh, well-made beer is when you pour it, you don't even have to put the glass near you.
No.
You're going to get that aroma.
It's in the
come
room.
at you. Yeah. And that was exactly what I got. And then I poured yours, and then you just kind of
I looked at you like,
gave me that look like, we're going down that ride, buddy.
oh yeah, we're going down the Lazy Lightning. That's for sure. So this reminds me of a classic early on IPA. I mean, so you guys, you brewed the Helles, you brewed the dark lager, and those were homebrews. Was this a homebrew as well?
This one actually was not.
No.
We never brewed. It was our first time brewing this beer.
Dude, I mean that's you. This is a delicious fucking IPA.
All right.
It's really good.
Holy shit!
Some sweetness
from
It's-
just out of nowhere, like, and this is the first time I've had it. I don't think I had this before. I thought I did, but I don't think I did. Looking at the label again.
What is the hop profile on this?
Yeah,
guy?
it's just.
Yes.
Yeah,
Well,
citra.
so this one we feel like is, I talked a little bit about the IPAs being kind of different when we scaled them up. The original couple IPAs we brewed were, we were super happy with them, but they weren't quite the same kind
The
of.
rest of you didn't scale up from homebrew to production.
Exactly, yeah. So then this one we kind of reevaluated and kind of totally changed the recipe of kind of our base IPA, and this kind of really feels like the kind of beer that we were trying to make over and over again at home.
Yeah, which we had like definitely honed in on home brewing, but then when we were scaling, we were like feeling like something was still missing.
Sure.
And this one definitely like
Yeah.
goes
What do
back
you
to
think it was that the scale up made it to what it is? What do you think that X factor was?
Was it
I think there are a few different things. I think in IPAs and in pale beers, scaling up, I think what we've experienced, I guess, is some of the darker, more specialty malts. You don't want to scale those up totally proportionately to the rest of the beer, because they kind of, at the bigger scale, they seem to have more of an impact.
or some
It's not a direct relationship, so it
yeah,
more
that's
like
what
a.
we're finding a little bit.
some
yeah.
things are exponential. So
Yeah.
it's like we kind of finally were able to like dial each of those things
Mhm.
in.
I
And
mean,
this-
what
we
you
said-
accomplished here is
It's terrific.
it's fucking terrific. Anyone listening right now, if you don't go fucking find this shit at your local distributor, or just go to, fuck it, just go to West Babylon Superstar. He's got a bunch of it, I guarantee it, because he probably feels the same way I do about it.
Totally.
That's one I would go out immediately and get.
Well, you know what?
And again, I'm an
the
IPA.
lazy lightning, right? That's what
Yeah,
you're drinking
yeah,
that
yeah,
one too,
yeah.
Mike.
Yes.
I would.
It's
I
great.
so want to do this one day.
Yeah.
I want to just get cans from breweries that are not popular yet.
Yeah. Well, no, what's
And I want to take the labels off. And I want to put
Like get a can of like Julius or something, or
Bro.
fucking, right?
Julius. I want to get Treehouse,
Trillium.
and I want to put these labels on
Other
these cans
half.
and pour them for these fanboys,
Yes.
and watch them get giddy. How? Oh yeah, this is a new one. Oh my god, this is so delicious.
Yeah,
and
is
then
it?
and then
Peel the label off.
and then peel the label off and go. Oh yeah, by the way, it's Springs out east. You fucking
Fanboy.
You pretentious bastards.
Yeah, I mean,
Bigger mind fuck would be like, this is their new,
Oh,
their
there
new
you
hoppy
would.
lager, and then peel off a fucking Bud Light or something.
Or just
Like, you
have
clearly
just
have
want to
no
mess
taste.
with
Oh no,
That's devious.
Just have like the can blank and say, yeah, I got it. I was there, and they didn't
Came
even
off the
label
line.
it. It's brand new. It's this new, and these guys would go crazy, and they would drink it and be like, oh my god, yes, the aroma and everything, which would be true.
yeah.
And then he'd be like, oh yeah, oh this is gonna sell so good. Oh yeah, you could get it over at the Spring Hardware Store,
General store.
General Store, and
In the hamlet of Springs,
Yeah.
out in East Hampton. Dude, the magic that you've pulled off on this one as being a first off, we'll say, and no wonder you said earlier you guys are going to be making this again. Well, you better, because if this doesn't
this was
become your flagship,
hops. Tell me the hops.
oh yeah, it's Mosaic, I think, right? You got Mosaic in there?
Mosaic, Citra, Simcoe.
Bingo, right?
Yeah.
Sexy and all up.
It's that. See, it's that.
It's the Victoria's Secret
it's that
supermodel show
Simcoe.
of IPAs.
Fucking that Simcoe. I love that. Simcoe.
People are gonna love it. That dude, this is, oh my god.
You got to get a beer with Cashmere and Comet.
You guys got me. I don't usually say that on air, but you got me on this one.
Really good.
You did, and I think all three of us are in lockstep with this one. It is one of the most solid IPAs I've had from a local brewery.
a new
In a
local
while,
brewery.
right? Like this, like a lot of like the hazies lately are very.
You want to say
generic, right?
earthy? No, but you
No, like it's hard to get. It's very hard to differentiate yourself
Yes.
in that,
Yes.
that style. This is a standout. It's really
Well,
good.
and the thing too is, and it's
I'm
funny,
glad we waited this long to drink it. Jesus Christ.
We've spoke to many breweries, and we talk about breweries all the time. Not on the air, and the hard part for new breweries is trying. There's always that learning curve.
Yeah.
And at first, a lot
We
of
get
times
it.
that learning,
Everyone should understand that, right?
that
Like when
learning
you're a
curve-
new brewery, you're gonna have ones that just don't hit. And we get it. We understand it. We're gonna stick with you because we appreciate and want to support local breweries, and we want them to stick around and get better and do better. This,
that's why we don't rate anything.
right? But no, I'm not even gonna rate it. I'm just gonna say, holy shit, I'd go out and buy this tomorrow.
Oh, without doubt.
Oh yeah, this
Without
is one for you guys. Just I'm gonna say speechless because I got nothing left to say.
But no, you know what's funny too is
Really good.
there are still breweries that have been open a while that still just can't get it fucking right.
I guess that's what I mean.
No.
I wish everyone could get it right.
Yeah.
And
As soon as you
This
said
is
that,
right.
I was thinking I had like 2 or 3 breweries in my head, and I'm like,
And like we said,
I know
we
you do.
always we talk off air, and yeah,
Rob from
I'm a little-
Superstar, get a 4-pack on
I'm
the
a-
side for me right now. Just do it right now. I'm already going to drink the ones that I have left. I think I have one left after I give it out to everybody that I'm going to drink probably tomorrow at 5 o'clock when my happy hour starts, and then I need more.
What I'm happy about is that this is a really well-made beer for a new brewery.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
I was always been a proponent of Long Island needs to be a destination.
Can you see this getting better? Honestly.
If it does, then
Holy shit. I mean, but I don't see it.
then we'll be fucking
And
waiting in line like all the other idiots
And Gunnar and Lindsay be like, I see you guys down there.
to
Yeah, you are.
to get a 4-pack because they're only limiting to one 4-pack per person,
Son of a bitch.
and it's sold out in 14
Here we
minutes.
go. We got Fiddens Fightins all over again.
Fighting's right down that
Only
yard.
releasing on Saturdays, so sons of bitches. I mean, all right, let's talk about this beer because you said it's the first time. What was the process? What are you using? We talked about the hops. What's the base malt? What's everything going on here? Don't give away the farm or the secrets. Just give us the real slimmed version of the profile of this.
Yeah, so we love our
They have all the secrets already. They're like, we want to sell the secrets.
we love the kind of the original wave of the the kind of New England style of IPA, like your Vermont, Maine kind of IPAs that they don't have that aggressive bitter bite of the West Coast, which we also love those beers as well, but there's a softness there, there's a fruitiness there, but there's also the bitterness, earthiness, dankness, and it's got a medium body, but it's not super smooth and thick, but it's drinkable, and
It's the balance that I think that is getting me right now.
Yeah,
It's a little bit of dank, a little bit of the earthiness, like you said, but juicy hops, of course, with your Citron Mosaic, you're gonna get that. And your base is like a pale ale, right? It's coming in like that, and then just double dry hopping it.
Essentially, yeah. This is we actually didn't use any kind of adjuncts really. This is all barley beer.
No orange juice or pineapple juice.
No.
No lactose.
No lactose.
So yeah, and so that was we were really drawing inspiration from those early kind of New England beers, and we're just like, hey, let's we don't see enough of those anymore. Let's make something like that, which as we mentioned, our homebrew IPAs were a little more in that vein as well.
I'm gonna say this. Rob is good in his own right, but I guarantee he sits home and goes, fuck, I made a really good beer with these guys. And I'm pissed that I didn't make it for myself. I guarantee he's sitting up at night going, Lazy Lightning was so good. And just
No,
angry.
well,
He's so
Rob
supportive,
Rob is so supportive.
Yeah, of course he is, but I'm telling you,
He's
when the doors close and the lights go
Next-
out, it's
next
definitely
month-
keeping him up at night.
next month he's coming out with Slacker Lightning. And it's going to be so close.
It's a session version of Lazy Lightning. Listen, I mean,
Rob, it would be like a 12% version of
yeah, oh yeah, there you go. That he'll just go the other way and just go over the top with it. All right, so you guys just brewed a double IPA with Rob. It just came out a week ago.
Just a couple days ago on Saturday.
Yeah, a couple days ago. So we're about to pour this. Let's talk a little bit about this. It pours around the same color profile as Lazy. It's looking good. It's looking like the delicious hazy IPAs that I like so much. It's smelling good. Give us a little breakdown of this as we sip and enjoy the words from the brewers themselves.
This one's it's kind of similar to Lazy Lightning in some ways, but it has a much creamier mouthfeel. Still has that kind of fruity dankness, but a little more like peachy and soft, I would say. I think we're really happy with this beer.
We see this as a kind of a take on a scaled up version of Lazy. There is adjuncts in this one. We got some oats, we got some wheat, and that comes through mostly in the mouthfeel and the body.
Well, that's how you bump up the ABV, right? I mean, that's kind of how you get into that higher end 8% and above.
And while keeping it, smooth and juicy.
You guys using liquid yeast or dry yeast?
Liquid yeast we use, yeah.
Are you guys using stuff that Rob's using, or are you getting fresh?
We're getting fresh.
Yeah. The kind of health of the yeast is super important to us, and so right now we're
and because I try to do this for like the homebrews that are listening. Who are you guys using?
We use Imperial.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So going right to the high end, do good stuff.
Well,
if you want a good beer, you're gonna get the good stuff.
We really see the cellaring is really, in our opinion, we've come to realize that's the most important in terms of just creating that super high quality beer that we want. So
we experimented with dry yeast, several brands of,
and we got some great results.
Yeah, we really
but
liked
it's just
it. But this we've realized we've kind of used the first few IPAs to experiment with yeast, different yeasts and different approaches to handling the yeast.
Sure.
And I think the last few IPAs, we've taken an approach that we feel like makes kind of the healthiest tasting beer.
Joe from WME Works is always saying drop off one of the Lazy Lightnings to me. You know what, Joe? I know he does, because that's Joe. You know what, Joe? I will. I'll go get myself a 4-pack from Superstar, and I will bring it to you personally, Joe. I make that a promise. You can hold me to it. If I don't, you can come to my house only a few blocks away and raid my fridge, because I probably have the last one that I had here, and you will get it and you will enjoy it. I promise.
Who's doing the can art for you guys?
I want to get into that because you have some unique names here. Obviously, Lazy Lightning is pretty straightforward, but the Tatog for the Black Lager, where do these names come from? Where does the artwork come from?
So Gunnar and I both went to art school at some point, so we kind of art direct all of the labels, and then we have our friends do the labels. And so a few of them were done by our friend Charlie Lai, who I grew up with out here, and he is of Vietnamese descent, and a lot of his paintings.
He's a very talented artist.
Very talented artist. Paints these beautiful paintings, and so he's been kind of interpreting the landscape of Springs for a lot of the labels. And then
does he have an Instagram? You want to just plug him really quick? Let people know where to find him.
Charles Lai, Ly, and he actually has a really awesome show at Harper's in Chelsea right now. That's really amazing.
Also a well-known artist at this point. I mean, toured artist getting it out there. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. And he's like a big craft beer guy. So that's been
Oh,
really
boom. So
fun
there
to
you
work
go.
with him. And then Totog and the land beer were done by our friend Emma, who is a farmer at a farm in Sagaponack. And she actually just moved back to the city to go to school to study botanical science. So she loves beer. So she did a couple labels. And then our friend Brianna Ash, who's a big craft beer gal, did Lazy Lightning.
And she's an artist as well.
Also an artist.
Nice.
So yeah.
You get a lot of art. You're not going to have any shortage of art to go on your on your
Springs
labels.
is full of art, so that's cool. And then the view from the mountaintop. Our friend who's an art curator and artist gave us a paint by number while we had COVID, and a very loose interpretation of the paint by number. So that one is by
That's
us.
pretty cool.
I do find though the Hellas, the wheat weevil that's on it in several places upsets me. Because that means it's eating the delicious,
Stuff we need to brew with it.
So
This kind of beautiful landscape, and then this cute little bug that's
this
kind
little
of
fucking
perverse.
green wheat weevil is destroying everything for us.
How dare you? But we don't use pesticides. We just shoo them away.
We go away now.
Yes, that's what we should do.
Or you get chickens.
Right. Or you get chickens, or you
chickens.
get cats. Cats will just run through, or dogs and run through.
Actually,
and
it's ducks.
is it ducks?
Ducks will eat every freaking little bug off a plant.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
And then when they get to mature size, then you fucking cook them.
Right.
Make some duck confit, and then call the
I don't really
cicerone
wanna-
over.
I don't really want to kill the duck. I like
No,
duck.
I like ducks.
But I want them like imported from another place where I don't have to establish relationships with them.
I wish I could have ducks.
Yeah.
But in my county,
You and ducks and otters. You're going to have a
no.
whole farm. I'm going to say the
Otters.
Piminski farm is going to be set up right next to
I
Springs
am,
Brewery.
I am moving out of this state to Tennessee. you know.
Nice. And just having ducks and otters all day. I like it. You guys, from the mountaintop, it's a double IPA. You've taken kind of the base. You've used more of the variants, like you were saying, that are additives that will kind of bump up that ABV. Was this your goal? Did you hit your marks on what you were looking for on this one?
Yeah, I think so. We did. So this one has different. This is the hop bill is Citra, Galaxy, and Waiti.
So you're using the crappy hops right now.
No sexy hops in this one.
There is nothing delicious in there, but
So with the Lazy Lightning, we wanted to really feature the kind of classic new school American varietals, and then with this one, we really wanted to get into a little more of the kind of softer tropical Southern Hemisphere hops.
Gulf Coast.
Gulf Coast IPA.
There you go, buddy.
But kind of keeping a little bit of that old school kind of dankness that we love. And so we think we hit what we wanted to do. But at the same time, we're kind of purists, and that we like to kind of just put it together, make sure we're controlling the aspects that we want to control, and then kind of seeing the product that it produces. We don't like to be too prescriptive in exactly what's gonna the end product is gonna be.
Delicious in its own right. This view from the mountaintop is awesome.
Now,
I think what the problem is right now, and I'm going to say it again.
go ahead.
That Lazy Lightning, I should have saved to the end. You're going to get 2 can opens for this one. There you go. 3 can opens.
my.
We don't rate.
No.
But it's like a whoop whoop. After that, anything that might have come after, I'm glad we waited till a little later after the Hells and the Black Lager. I like IPAs. I just, you know me. I like IPA. I also like my dark lagers and my black IPAs and stuff like that.
Well,
But God damn it, was that? I'm going to keep going back to Lazy Lightning.
but here's a question.
It was a treat.
Here's a question for them. I mean, you guys have been doing these different styles. Mikey likes sours. You guys have anything in the future of doing maybe a kettle or something like that?
We do, yeah.
Oh, baby.
There we got something on the schedule.
There
There
we
we
go.
know it. They're like, summer's coming. Time to go sour.
Might not be this summer.
All
We-
right.
Okay.
We want to, we really want, once we have the brewery, we want to have a real kind of proper, mixed fermentation.
Cool.
And
Take your time. No rush.
Yeah.
No one likes sours anyway.
Oh, stop it, Peter. Peter likes saisons, farmhouses, stuff like that. Do you have that in the future on the horizon?
I think, while we're contracting, we kind of want to just
Produce stuff that sells.
Yeah, that was
So-
just the stuff people want to buy. Right.
People wanna
that
buy.
makes
Now-
sense.
But for
Yeah.
us, our Belgian drink
Yeah.
listeners, they're going to want to see the versatility, right? I mean, anyone that's out there that now, honestly, I've been gushing about the beer. Are they willing to wait for that Belgian, that sour or the Goza, that different beer outside of your standard lineup? Steve, would they be willing to do that?
Well,
Do you
you
think
know what?
people will stick around waiting for that?
The key is they're so new, and they already have 9 beers out.
You see,
So-
it's such like a
it's-
weird world to be in.
it's, you know-
they're new, but they got 9 labels,
Well, and the other part is
nine UPCs.
you really there's not a lot of places to get them right now.
right?
So now it's like if you find it,
West
and you
Babylon
have
Superstar.
one-
They always
What was
have it.
that? What was that?
West Babylon Superstar.
There you go. If you and you have that one, you're gonna be like, okay, what else do they have? And then you try the next one. Once you get through, if those 9 are around, they still have another one coming. I mean, they're still brewing. I think as long as they're brewing good, approachable beer that is made to the style, it's well done. Yeah.
Mark from Hopscotch, if you're listening tonight, you need to put. Because we were there and they were looking to put some beer on the shelf.
Lazy Lightning.
Get Lazy Lighting, dude. I will be there on
Now-
my way home.
I do have a question. Now you said this, the view from the mountaintop. This was a something you had been gifted, a paint by number. Mm-hmm. Okay, were you guys high when you did this?
It's a beautiful paint by number.
I mean,
think
you
you
know,
did a
it
great
took
job.
Because I'm
few
looking
days
at
to
it.
complete,
Yes.
so
I'm looking at it, and there are some spots that like you could see there's like art, like you spent time.
Took a timeout.
And
They
then
took
there's
a hardcore
there's
timeout.
there's other parts where it's like, man, I'm so high, I just want to finish this.
I think that's the creative.
There you go.
Yeah.
See, that's what I like to hear.
There were
Yeah.
definitely times,
Yeah, Gunnar's like, make it looser.
Yeah, no,
There you go.
It works very well. I mean, it again, what do you do on a shelf, right? You want to stand out a little bit. You want
Sure
the
do.
branding to be there. You want the identification. Aside from other people doing, not the same thing, but everyone's trying to vie for that shelf space and that look. So how do you separate yourself out at that point? Some people have gone backwards and gone to basic, like white label, one word, done, right?
Ebbs.
Other people, right. Or you get to the pictures, huge blown up pictures of people's faces, or you get to the things that are just neon,
Well,
right? I mean,
here-
how do you vie for that shelf space?
Well, here's the thing with you guys. You go into a Home D and you walk around as yourself looking for beer. What do you gravitate towards? Either the beers that or something that stands out in your face, and it's something you haven't seen.
That should be a fourth question. When you go into a Home D, right? What are you looking for? Are you looking for name recognition? Are you looking for artwork? What stands out to you? That's a good question.
I think for us, a lot of time it's like recognition and package date.
Ah, good
And
Yeah.
call.
is it in the fridge or is it on the shelf? Because like we've been burned many times out here.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
a $28 4-pack of Grim that we used to be able to like walk to get and have it be super fresh, and then it's like old and kind of skunk. and
Yep.
Expensive. So I think freshness is really
yeah.
key to us, and
Well,
I
hence the
think-
reason you guys are going around and checking in on that stuff. Like you want to see, how things are moving, how things are package date for your own beer, right? I mean, that's kind of be essence of what you want to make sure that people are getting the beer as fresh as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Besides-
we also visually want the beer to be an embodiment of like the kind of concept behind our brewery is place, and this place of Springs that has this kind of creative tie, but it's also very accessible and it has this history of the arts, and we want the beer to kind of be an embodiment of that craft on all of the different levels, whether
Sure.
or not
I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah. Well, good answer.
Yeah.
So you guys have a huge mountain to climb here for what you're doing now, living up to the expectations, in my opinion, because expectations are really high based upon what we're having tonight. What's the plan? Continue contracting, obviously, through Uber Geek for the next few months, maybe a year. And in the meantime, work on the brewery, kind of get through things, try to figure that out?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah.
Are you guys working full-time in other jobs?
Yeah.
Yeah. Lindsay.
You hear that disappointment? They're like, yeah.
I'm.
Here's a word of advice: hold on to those jobs as long as you can until you can't,
Yeah.
because you'll be surprised. Many breweries, guys, owners or
Jump
whatever,
ship early.
they will get out of their job, and then they all of a sudden they have to pull a salary from their brewery, and now that money that they could have put back into buying equipment or merch or anything,
Yeah.
even just licensing, insurance, all those little things you don't even think about. Hey, I need a new 55-gallon drum of glycol because one of the lines broke and now I need to refill it. You
need some sort of
hold
other-
on to it as long as you can. I mean, if it's a job that you hate, then get the hell out of there and stop brewing beer every day.
Do some freelance work. I mean, the art is great.
Yes.
Their ideas are great. They can consult. They have family to lean on. Again, if you hate your job, then please step away. But if it means a matter of, you don't mind your job and it's a matter of, shifting finances, I think that's a smart financial decision for sure.
Sure. Definitely.
Gunnar, what do you do right now?
I'm an architect, so I don't have a full-time job. I just work for myself.
Freelance or contract or whatever.
He works for Art Vandalay Industries.
Vandalay.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's nice. There's like a lot of synergy with our architecture.
Yeah,
work.
for sure. I mean, the art background is going to help in so many facets of a brewery. People don't realize it's not just about the brewing. It's all about the marketing, the idea of the art itself, the branding, everything that has to go into it. The social media. I mean, you guys are maintaining, obviously, your own social media at this point, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So every picture, everything you put out there is a representative of your brand. You got to be careful in this world of a lot of different things are going on. And of course, be able to, help build. It's all about the building and the networking going into the next phase of where you guys are going to be. It's got to be a little bit stressful along with, having your own job and sustaining that, building it in and recycling that money. How do you guys pull this all off? I mean, you guys have to have a strong relationship. Where does the decision-making happen? Are you guys pretty much lock in step with each other? They both smiled as I asked that question. You see that? We both looked at the screen and we're like, smiles just started coming up like, yeah.
Hey, hon, let's have another beer.
Yeah. Having a beer will make the decision on that.
Yeah.
We're on the same page until we're not, and then
things blow up and then we come back together. But it's like, we've been talking about doing this for like such a long time now that it's actually been pretty interesting to see. Like, I think we both thought last August when we were like canning our first beer that like that was like gonna be like a huge leap or hurdle to jump, and then like things kept on just kind of coming together. Like we had already put years of thought into each thing, and so it was like things have kind of just been happening pretty smoothly, and obviously we're still learning a lot throughout this process, but kind of the intensity of having the architecture projects, of having a beer release, of like wanting things to be done really well. Like it all is this like kind of adrenaline.
I'm sure it's adrenaline, but it also puts stress on a relationship. I mean, so you want to open a brewery, and here's what you're going to face, right? I mean, it's got to be something to fight with. But if you come out on the other side as a unified team, it's going to be one of the strongest things you guys are going to have between the business, the brand,
I almost died several times. And that was just because my wife was going to kill me. So God bless you, the both of you, because right now I could easily.
And she didn't have any part of the business, right? Like she didn't have a saying or anything.
No,
she wanted to stay away as far as.
Yeah. They could have found my body parts at the end zone of the friggin' MetLife Stadium.
Chandler's just chewing on a femur in the backyard, buried under your pool.
Yeah. Oh, with the
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, with all the
we got it.
right.
You guys have a huge journey in front of you. What are the next few steps right now? Like the next few months, are you focused on brewing? Are you doing a little bit of, ideas with what you're going to do for the next, the build out of the shop? Where are you at right now?
We are trying to kind of maintain the brewing and like release a beer a month and then kind of ramp up and plan for the summer, knowing that it's a little kooky out here, and then try to take the next few months that are a little bit quieter to focus on the build out and kind of completing the town.
I like that she used the term kooky instead of shit show.
Yeah.
That is the nicest way of saying that when the
We're still
Cityots
recovering from last summer. So.
when the Cityots come out and they invade their homeland over there. It's kooky. It's kooky.
It gets a little strange, we'll say. Yeah. So I mean, it's got to be. I don't want to say stressful because I don't want to put more of that on you. But for the most part, what you guys are going to go up against for the next few months and in a year is going to be stressful. It's going to be a building process, but you have the beer behind you to back it. You have the flavor profiles, the strength of your recipes and everything else, and of course the branding and everything here has been phenomenal. I don't see this being a downturn. So I'm going to say, just from me and possibly the other two guys here, this is going to be a successful venture. So have faith and have confidence in what you guys are doing because it's phenomenal. And we've been doing this. I've been doing this for over 5 years. Had almost 100 breweries in here and have tasted a lot of things. You guys are on the right path. You guys are doing phenomenal work, and you just need to continue that path and don't stray from it because you have the right things going for you.
Thank you so
Thanks.
much.
Yeah, we appreciate that.
Yeah,
It's
really appreciate it.
Steve, words of wisdom before we start wrapping up here.
Yeah. Every time you watch somebody drink one of your beers and they smile and they're enjoying it, just remember that. Because the days when it's really hard and shitty, it all happens with anything in life, you remember those moments though, and you're like, okay, man, this is what it's worth. This is why we're doing it. We, putting smiles on faces and making people happy. You'd be surprised down the road. People are going to be like, man, I remember the first time I had your beer. It was at this place. And they're going to remember the place and where they had it and how happy they were drinking it and they wanted more of it. And you're going to be like, holy shit, all I did was brew beer and I touched you that much? This is fucking awesome.
Yeah. Well, and so I want to say this without weirdness, hazy lighting touched me. It really did.
That was
Mike, something.
Mike, that was me.
No,
that was me.
I'm dead serious.
That was my hand on the
But we'll
table.
go to the video replay if we have to. There was no. It was lazy lighting. It was not you.
What happens under the table when I'm not there?
Yeah, well, you see, Pete, you're not in the way. You weren't the blocker.
You're usually the buffer here between the two of us.
You're welcome.
So, yes, thank you. No, but seriously, I mean that beer got me. I don't know what it was. I don't know how it was. I hope the next batch comes out exactly the same because that's one that you can stand behind confidently, and you should. You absolutely should. You guys are going to definitely. Oh, come on! You can pour in more of that. It's an 8.3%.
If it was lazy lightning, you would have said nothing.
I would have said nothing, absolutely. But it's 8.3%, and I have to pee so bad, and I'm filling up. But I want to give them an opportunity. I usually fill up to this point to my eyelids with Tinkle, and I'm so rushing to get off. But I want to give you guys an opportunity to give a big plug, tell people what's coming up, what's going on, where people can find your beer.
Yes, that's the key.
It really is a key at this point because there's a number of places where you can find it, and obviously you can go out to the general store, but not everyone's going to be traveling out to East Hampton. So where can people in like central Long Island find the beer? Where can they get it? How can they get their hands on this? Because they need to get the fucking Lazy Lightning. I'm sorry. Go ahead. You go. You go.
Yeah, West Babylon Superstore.
West Babylon. Robbie!
That's going to be the best place to reliably get our beer, and that's actually the only place kind of in the middle of
and
the
probably
island
soon hopscotch.
And maybe hopscotch soon, yes.
Yeah, maybe hopscotch.
And then Brooklyn, usually Beer Wax.
Oh, you're going to go Beer Wax. Nice.
Yeah.
Beer Wax has it. Glorieta Baldi, which is one of our favorite old spots, usually has it. Beer Street.
Oh,
yep.
Shit, yeah.
Our friends are opening a restaurant in the East Village, Snooty Branch, which will definitely have the beer. So we're kind of posting on Instagram where the beer's at, and then locally, Town Line has it. Best Pizza, and then we
Town Line
have
Barbecue.
Yep.
Yeah,
Nice. Nice.
and then
Peconic Beverage in Southampton.
Okay,
Sam's
good.
Bev-
Yeah.
Sam's Beverage.
Yeah, but if you
Pretty much
go to our website or message us on Instagram, we are responding to the emails. And
So is it info at springs-brewing.com, right?
That's right. Yeah.
brewery,
Yeah. Springs-brewery.com.
Brewery. Okay, good. Yeah. Not brewing. I might have said that wrong at the top of the show, but you know, you get the idea. If you type in Springs in Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook, you're going to find them. So, guys, this has been eye-opening, phenomenal, good times for sure. Had a lot of fun with you yesterday. Enjoyed every bit of hanging with you. Good people, good beer for sure. And again, if you need to get in touch with them, go to Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, whatever, and type in Springs Brewery. You'll be able to find what you need to find. And again, like I said, get in contact with them and find out exactly where in your area you can find their beer, because you need to find this beer. And people have been posting. I've been seeing things. I've been looking at things and seeing a good outpour and positive feedback from a lot of the beers. So congratulations on everything you guys have done. Anything you want to say before we get out of here?
I think that's it.
Yeah, this was great.
Kate,
Thanks for
Steve,
having
thank
us.
you guys so much. This was a lot of fun.
It's been our pleasure, not yours. Our pleasure. I'm taking that ownership away from you.
Well, that's because you keep drinking the
I know. I keep drinking the Lazy Lightning. Lindsay, Gunnar, really appreciate you being on the show. This is the Wort with Mike, Pete, and Steve, govsradio.com. Before we get out of here, Peter, what have you noticed in your basement?
Don't get fucking COVID.
Do your best to stay away from it.
Tip for the show this week. Don't get COVID.
You would have enjoyed it a lot more if you were in studio with us. You would have been the buffer between Steve and I.
That's right. A lot of hand stuff going on here.
None of that's been going on. But I appreciate Steve. Steve, before we get out of here, wait, I got to say goodbye to Instagram.
Oh.
Otherwise, I don't have an outro show.
No.
Something to say
Fuck
before
off,
you
Instagram.
What do I have to say? Drink good beer with good people.
Well, that's it. You're supposed to give me a little more time. Give me a little more time so I can actually
drink good beer with good people, and if they suck, then punch them in the face.
No, don't say no one's inciting violence.
Like Kelsey Grammer.
I
said that.
None of that is going well. Jesus Christ. This is the Wort of Mike, Pete, and Steve, govsradio.com. Check us out on our podcast form on all your favorite platforms. That includes iTunes, Spotify, and, of course, Amazon Music. But we're always on the Hopped Up Network, so check them out. This is the Wort with Mike, Pete, and Steve, govsradio.com. And guess what? We out of here.
2 hours of your life that you'll never get back.
Are you kidding me?
Please hang up and try again.
This has been the Wort on Govs Radio. I hope you're drunk enough.